Hi everyone and welcome back to Hazel's Violin School. So in the last video you may have been a bit confused and kind of wondered sort of what was going on. So in this video I'm going to explain to you what was going on in the last video and how you can use it to help you tune either your own violin or your child's violin. So for the purposes of this video I'm actually going to show you on my son's tiny little violin, because I am aware that some of you may be the parents of younger children. Okay, so I'm just putting my rosin on the bow. Now don't be alarmed, because this violin will make a much smaller sound than the last one, and that is to be expected because it's just a little one, okay? Right, so the first thing that we need to think about here is we've got 4 strings, okay? Right, we've got 4 strings. G, D, A, and E, okay? And that one's a little bit out of tune, but that's okay. 4 strings, right? In my last video I played constant notes over and over again, okay? I started with the A string, and then I went on to the D string, then the G, and then the E. Now your job is to try and match the strings of your own violin or your child's violin to that exact pitch on my video. Okay, so when you go back to watch it, you will take the violin, you will listen to the recording that I made for you, and this would just be the same if you were coming to me and I was giving you a one-to-one lesson. I would give you an A. Well, for smaller children very often I would do it for them, as you will be doing if you're a parent, but for an adult who kind of knows what they're doing, I would give you an A, I'd maybe give you a D, and you would match your own sound of that particular string to mine, okay? And that's just how that would work. Okay, so with a child's instrument or with an adult's beginner instrument, very often you've got the pegs. You'll always have the pegs, tuning pegs, and you'll also have 4 little kind of knobs down here, okay? These are actually called the fine tuners, and they do exactly what they say, and they tend, to be honest, you would tune the main bulk with the pegs, and then you would fine tune with the fine tuners down here. Okay, now generally with children's instruments you're not really going to need to touch the pegs too much, but just remember, if you do need to, just to be pushing in as you're turning. Okay, so I'm just going to take my own instrument and I'm going to pluck the A string just to give you an idea. Now if I do it with this one, it sounds quite similar. Now what about if I was to do this? So this is the one that we want to copy. Can you hear that? Would you say that was too high or too low or perfect? Hopefully you will have answered that this one is too high. Okay, so you want to turn this little knob until it matches the sound on the main instrument. What about now? Is that too high, too low, or just right? Hopefully you will have answered that that one was too low, okay? So it's really just a case of listening to the recording and matching the string accordingly, and that does take quite a lot of practice. It can be really helpful if you've got a piano or a keyboard, because you can quite often just hold the note down. But if you don't have that, that's kind of why I wanted to make this video for you with the 4 strings. that's a lot better now. So then you would go on to your next string, the D, and that's actually not too bad. Very often you won't need to adjust it too much in between practice sessions, unless the instrument is brand new, like if you've bought it online. Very often it will go quite out of tune, but if you've bought it second hand from a string store, very often it will already have settled. So you go through the video and you just adjust according to the sound. That sounds okay too. I can hardly play it because it's so little. I'm getting all tied up in knots. Oops. Okay, now that sounds about right. What I would like to mention is, of course, if you're the parent of a child, or even if you're just a beginner, you probably won't be used to holding the bow, and that's absolutely fine. You do not actually need the bow to tune. You can literally just be plucking, you can be listening to the video, and you can even just have it like this. And you can just be kind of twisting it like that. You don't need to know how to hold the bow. You can just pluck it, just hold it however you find comfortable. And you know, you can't do too much damage with it. Play around with these little things here and see what they do. Okay, you'll notice if you turn them a certain way. If you turn them clockwise, they'll go higher. If you turn them anti-clockwise, they'll go lower. And it's your job to match the sound to the one in the recording. I hope this helped, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.